Oh my God. So late night videos, which is something I used to always do after clearing my head when I used to live just around the corner here. So yeah, lived here for one of the longest periods of my life. And if I was ever having a break when I was up late working on designs or art and so forth, I used to come down. I used to go up and have a hot chocolate at Hernandez. Although, come down here, one of my favorite spots. So this has been fucking weird. Even tonight, it was so on edge. It was like, this is odd. This feels more like a job interview, and I'm trying not to say anything wrong or give too much away, and try and steer in the conversation over to something else. There has been a really weird crap going on in the last 9 years with certain people. I made this up. Made this apparent. Excuse me. I made this apparent. Well, a long time ago. Back in. Oh God, I'm so okay. Sorry. When I'm turning, I'm always trying to turn my head to this side because anyone who knows me, after I was mugged after work, this eye is damaged. So my left eye got damaged when I was mugged after work, November 30th, 2007, and that, I just noticed I keep doing it. It's actually a bad habit because this eye has been damaged from the mugging. You can see it. You can see the difference in my, anyway, who cares? So, yeah. Like I found it very odd when I've made this comment back years ago, from 2015 to 2018, I kept calling police saying, but there's complete strangers of people involving themselves into my life. I'm not impressed about that. And then there was some weirdos. So someone went out deliberately to try and find information about me. And that was a hairdresser who doesn't know me and shouldn't know me because it's a hairdresser that gets paid for a service. So in late 2013, I've made this statement before as well. The two people actually. One, there was a hairdresser, Belinda Jeffries from Levertique Hair Salon in Double Bay. I found this to be very creepy because we're not friends and we'll never be friends. I would never be friends with somebody like that. It's an acquaintance. It's only a social acquaintance through the fact that I pay you to give me a good haircut and treatment. And that's all it is. So I found that very creepy, for starters. That was that. Especially when she tried to find stuff out about where I was from, like just information in general about me. It's like, well, who are you? It's like, but none of your business. None of your business at all, because you get paid for a service. I come in here for a haircut and treatment. So none of your business. The other person who I've always, this has been brought up years ago, back when I was with John Cabino, my ex, that's Stephanie DeSalis. I found this to be really creepy. So, where this has already been brought up before in the past, where someone who I met at a coffee shop, doesn't know me. That was in late 2004, but by July 2005, I would avoid, bumping into her at the coffee shop because even my partner John said she was, she's stalking you and she's got delusional fantasies. Yeah, so there was that. But so much fucking weird shit. And look, okay, I will wear the blunt when I was deliberately trying to make fools of people. And you could say I was pretending to be mentally retarded, but it started out with me pretending I was high on drugs. Let's just get that for starters first. Before anyone starts accusing me of doing anything wrong. Somebody lied about me in 2015, so I was being a smart ass from 2016 and 2018. You can't blame me for it. If people are going to be dumb dog shit idiots and have wrong information, I had people that thought I was from some country town. That's insane. Literally, I've had people think, and anyone who knows me in Sydney, they still think that. It's like, no. Mum's born in Darlinghurst. Nan's from Leichhardt. Pop's from Balmain. My other pop, Stanley Fleming's from Botany Bay. Ruby's from Drummoyne Abbotsford, my grandmother. They've moved to the suburbs to raise the kids because they didn't want to raise them in the city. But like I said, when Reg and Lola moved to the suburbs, all their family stayed in the city. It was only Reg and Lola that moved to the suburbs. And that's why I was born and raised in the suburbs, but was always back in the city. So people honestly do believe I was from a country town, but I'm not. My mother just moved with her second husband, and I have no idea about what it's like to live outside the city, and I don't want to know what it's like to live outside the city because I have lived in the city and been in the city most of my life. I still find where my dad lives in Empire Bay to be very country, and it's Central Coast. Literally, I find my dad's to be as much bushland. So Mark Fleming. And the other weird thing, some Aboriginals who know my mum's sister and her children, some weird Aboriginals and some weird white bogan losers as well that know my mother's sister's family actually harassed me as well. I thought that was really creepy. That went on since 2015 as well. I'm not going to bring that up again, but they know my mother's sister exactly because they described my mother's loser sister and her children. And that was really creepy as well. And look, like, there's this thing. It's like, oh, there's crap in the last 9 years. It's like, yeah, I had a lot of money. It's my money. You've damaged it because you're an idiot that thought something was real that wasn't, or some slander about me. And I worked hard for it. I had an investment property that I sold in 2008. That money stayed in the bank. Before I was mugged, I was buying another property, which was it Lake Tana, 52 Lake Tana? So I've still got a good memory. Latana Drive, which is just below Timbertop Drive there in Umina Heights. But because I got mugged after work, I put it out of the sale. But the deposit was still in my bank. I had fixed term deposits. None of this changed. It's creepy. It's fucking really creepy, this shit. And look, okay, I suppose people can come back to me and say, oh, but Justin, you did play a prank on some social workers and support workers. I'm like, yeah, but they did also harass my life. That was weird. And I did play a prank on the police, yeah, but that was fun. Seriously, that was so hilarious. Oh my god. Walking up, no, one of the best ones was in 2017 where I was like, oh fuck, I played a joke when I was down south visiting Auntie Linda and Uncle Tony and my cousins that moved from Parramatta down to Bowral, and this dickhead that was hanging around that was just a free prostitute to me, nothing more. And so I played a prank when I was in IGA, and it was supposed to be taken as a prank, as funny, and it got sort of out of hand. It was taken too far. So anyway, police actually come in 2017 to interview me over it. I was like, oh shit, oh fuck, this backfired. That's what I was like. I was like, oh shit, didn't realize it was going to backfire like this, so what can I do? And I was like, oh, okay. So knowing the law was like, oh, you can't interview me. I was like, oh, I can't interview, I need a carer. Shit, I shouldn't laugh about it. It was fucking hilarious. I've taken some medication. I shouldn't fucking do that. So I'm literally playing these dumb, useless, bogan police like you wouldn't believe, to go, fuck, how am I going to get around this one now? Because I fucked myself up here. And then I was okay. One thing, but so then anyway, and then I was at McDonald's once, coming back from my cousin Madeline, her 21st, and I was just joking around. But what I said was true. I was like, bit of smart. I was going, my mum was a paralegal. I was like, my mother did this. Well, actually, she didn't. My mother did do the subdivision for Windsor Downs. She did, when she was working for Ian Scholback. But I was like, my mother's a paralegal, which mum was a paralegal. She just retired in 2009. And you can't, so I was telling McDonald's what their franchisee laws were. But I was actually right. So what I was saying, I knew I was right. Legally, what they were doing was wrong. But I was being a smartass about it. I was just playing a prank with this guy that kept hanging around. But what I actually said was true. And I just didn't realise until the last 9 years that people who I used to socialise with in Sydney actually do believe that I was from the country, or believe that I was from the area where my mother moved to. Oh, and then they believed that I was related to her second husband. It was weird. Since 2016, I'm going to say this went on more. Fucking hilarious. And they're just idiots. I don't know what to say, except, oh my God, these people are dumb. Like, instead of me just making a comment, just look at a document. I don't know. Look, I see it as being some weird people stalked social media or stalked my life, and I'm looking at the ones that stalked as like, right, so we've got a Stephanie DeSalis that was a known stalker in the past who we're not friends with, but both myself and my ex-partner John in 2006 said fuck off. Otherwise, we're going to call the police on you. You've got some fucking weird deadbeat hairdresser, Belinda Jeffries, who's, man, everyone like from the suburbs. Like, you're a hairdresser, you're dime a dozen. Like, seriously, you're not anything. And then this shit about my life, like seriously, these fucking social workers. Oh my god, it's like the way they twist things. It's like, man, you need a real job. Yeah, like it's just so, how can I say, toxic. They're so leftist thinking with their communist socialist attitude that it's like, okay, yeah, it's like, okay, if I bring up stuff for an example, oh well, yeah, I did acting classes years ago, but you want to know about my life. Like, for example, this is with immigration, for example. It's like, but you're asking about my life. So when I was young and gorgeous, I did modeling after school. Yeah, I did a model's quest, but I'm not that person anymore. So that's true, but it's like you're still asking about my life, because for some reason, immigration, when I was going for America, thought that I was going to be some wholesome country person that would live outside the city. It's like, no. So, eggs on your face, idiot. What else? It's like, well, you want to know what I was interested in, hobbies and so forth. It's like, why did I get into modeling? Because I liked fashion design. When was the last time I studied fashion design? 2009. Was I going to go back to it? Yeah. Was I good at it? I got a credit in my past, but no better than the next person next to me. Well, type thing. So the same with other design work I did. So, and that's the other thing. My loser, fucking social workers. Seriously, this guy, it was like, oh God, it's like dealing with Christy Childs, my mother's deadbeat niece, who, when I turned around to her and said, well, I have passed design, and yeah, I can say that I'm a interior decorator. And she goes, oh, I was like, yeah, well, that's what I've passed at TAFE College. It's like dealing with those fuckwits. Seriously, it was like so stuffy, uncomfortable. It's like, oh God, this is like dealing with my mother's deadbeat loser sister and her children, or their friends. And there's the same people that just keep interfering in my life for 9 years, or the same types of people that really think they're entitled to do it and stop my life and then not pay for the damages. It's like, well, you're going to have me talk about damages, of course. It cost me money. Like, could I go back to Star Casino? You were told, yeah, stop interfering. So I went back to America and I worked at one of the large casinos there. Could I have gone back to VIP hosted? Sure. Could I go back to my design studies? Yeah. I never said any different. I said that these wankers that have just now harassed me for 9 years, like, to the point where I'm like, okay. Like, I even had social workers from, hang on, where was it? Bobby Goldsmith, who were like, but we're trying to help you get a green card. I'm like, I have a green card. So since 2015, I had so many people say, I'm trying to help you get a green card. I'm like, I don't need you to help me get a green card. I've had a green card since 2014. Why do you think you're helping me get a green card when my interview for a green card was back in August 2014? I've already got a green card. It's fucking weird. And I'm always around the liberal, libertarian, leftist, Buddhist, socialist, communist. Yeah, not my type of people. And they're the people that feel so righteous to judge people like myself. It's uncomfortable. It's more than uncomfortable. Is that the way Australia's going? Seriously, all I can say is thank God Trump is going to be president to the US again. Because, yeah, you don't want that way of going. Anyway, we'll leave it there and say, well, as much as these people think that they're not going to, compensate damages, you're going to do more than that. The lies about me that went on for a person to benefit and gain, which is my ex-partner, Gio. Yeah. I mean, all those organisations that got involved because of it, you got involved and it's criminal because I didn't involve you. So, man, I'm going to be a smartass. So, and I can be a smartass when I'm in one of my favourite spots where I've lived most of my life. Yeah, and so I don't give a shit. You're going to pay me back my money, pay me the damages, whether you like it or not. I'm not going to back down. I'm going to keep fighting. And fuck me dead. What a waste of taxpayers' dollars these government workers are. Like, seriously. And that's the other thing. the whole thing when I was mugged on my way home from work from Star Casino, the negotiation exactly was that part salary payment to work to return to work. If it was going to be loss of job due to being mugged after work, then they would have had to pay massive big damages for unfair dismissal because you're fining someone for being mugged after work. So, look, people can't have it both ways, which is what I find the left always wants. And I'm definitely not leftist. Oh, God, I may be homosexual, but oh my fucking God, I can't stand socialists. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Oh, God, I wish I still lived here at this spot, but not. And yeah, I've got what? Probably settle back in Sydney for 1 year and then I'll leave. Because I really, I mean, I hate being back in Australia. And if I don't move back to America, oh well, it's no big deal. Like, it doesn't really phase me that much. I mean, if I moved, I'll be doing exactly what I said I would do. I will be buying a place in Atlantic City and working in the casino industry and working, well, I would hopefully go back to my studies in Australia, with, design and so forth here. But fuck, I'm just really sick of the way the left thinks. They're so, they think anybody who's better than them is special. It's like, no, we just had different lives. It's like my cousins, the way they think, because they were dragged up. Ugh. It's like putting up with them. Ugh. Leave it there.